Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Dusty Futon Musicians Podcast. The Dusty Futon LLC is a company focused on giving local and independent musicians a voice, connecting them with experienced professionals, giving them a platform to share their story, and playing a few of their songs helps them grow as an artist. It's a win-win for the fan, the artist, and the local music scene. Please make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or nearly any other podcast provider to help get the word out. We never have commercials or sponsors on the Dusty Futon, so the artists never get filtered. It's all about the music, and we want to keep it that way. So please consider helping us grow by contributing on our Patreon page, patreon.com/thedustyfuton, and you'll get access to bonus content and other extras for behind the scenes. Two Steves and a James make up the current iteration of Velour. Stick around to the end to hear how the second Steve, Steph/Astro, got his nickname. This blues rock band actually started in New Orleans many years ago. The originator Steve, not Steph, resurrected the name here in San Diego with these guys. We have tons of fun with stories, how-tos, insights, and just general banter that keeps the energy up in this episode. Enjoy the information and music from Velour.
Hi, Steve. How you doing? Have a seat here on the...
In the center here.
Yeah.
The only seat available.
I'll get in touch.
Sit and put your headphones on.
Let's see here. Yeah.
They're on some headphones so you can hear what's happening.
We hear all the things we're saying about you.
Oh no.
Welcome to the Dusty Futon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I go by Dirty Disciple. This here is Corey Wilkins.
Hey.
Hey, Corey.
We're in his studio.
That's right.
It's where the magic happens.
It is where the magic happens.
All
I
right.
don't know if it's like dark magic or white magic or good magic or bad magic but it's magic.
It's all of it. It's
That's
music.
right.
All right, so
It's important.
we are joined by Velour. Are you guys
Hello.
a three-piece band?
We
Currently are
currently are, yeah. We started out as a quartet. Our
a barbershop quartet.
yeah,
Lost one along the way.
lost one along the way.
He's no longer with us.
He's no longer with us. He went on to pursue another project, and we wish him well. But
He died tragically. He's a guardian.
No.
Yeah, see, there we go. It's like Spinal Tap.
Exactly.
Spontaneous human combustion.
He choked on someone else's vomit.
you can't actually dust for vomit, can you?
Dust for vomit. You really can't.
Something no one talks about.
That's
But
right.
you could say that you guys were on tour and he was obnoxious and you left him on the road in
That's it.
Texas
That's
or
it.
something.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
they
said,
can be
"Oh, that's your bus over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, get on that bus over there."
And now he's in another project.
Yeah. Some horrible place in
That's
East
right,
Texas.
yeah. Now he's in
There you
the.
go.
So we have James here,
I'm James. Yes.
and you do guitar and vocals.
Guitar, vocals. I refer to myself as the other guitar player. So we have
The other guitar player.
and
Dun, dun,
a lot of oohs and ahs, backing vocal kind of stuff.
Right on. And we have Steve,
That's me.
and you do the main guitar.
Yeah, lead guitar, lead vocals.
Right on. And
Yeah.
then we have Steph/Astro, or whatever you want to call him.
That's me.
That is so gonna stick.
That was more as a joke.
Yeah, because it's.
I haven't seen him make any 3-pointers, so
Yeah.
Oh,
That's Stefan.
Yes,
And,
Stefan, please.
Stefan Curry.
You're the drummer.
Yes, I am. I play a little. Ding.
A little ding.
A little
Garth,
ding.
Garth reference.
Play
Garth
a
reference.
little
yeah,
ding.
yeah. We do a lot of pop culture references. So if one goes by,
I'm guessing most of you were born in the 70s.
no,
slightly
thank you.
prior. Slightly prior.
66.
Slightly
Yeah.
prior.
Six-
Okay.
66.
We get all the 70s.
You know,
jokes.
after the last show that we did, actually the last two shows that we did,
Yeah, I was like, who's talking?
yeah, the last two shows that we did, I finally like feel like a normal like average age guy. I felt like a grandpa the last couple of shows.
Oh, well.
We get that a lot with
You know,
bands that we played with.
We're here to make you feel comfortable. So,
I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to make me feel comfortable, could you pull the mic a little bit more close so I can hear you
oh, I'm
better?
sorry. Whoa. I didn't want to, boom too much.
I was going to say, in one of our earlier shows at the Soda Bar, we were playing with 2 or 3 other bands, and I was out in the parking lot talking to a guy from one of the other bands, and he's looking at me, and we're talking. He says, So you guys been playing for a while, huh?
It's like, wow, thanks a lot.
That's a
asshole.
great way.
Now that you mention it, we all just started a month ago. Aren't we fucking good?
Yeah. But he kept going, well, hey, mad respect, man, mad respect. Thank you.
No, you should have said, no, we've been playing for about a week. We're just really old. Well, there is that song called Late Bloomers, so we're all late bloomers. That's right.
In my former life, I was a drumstick.
Nice.
Yes.
Like a chicken one, or
You make the call.
Dumbstruck.
That's sad. That sounds like you got beat on a lot.
Oh, tragic.
Maybe
just
you
got-
did a lot of beating.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
Don't beat me up. Don't-
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not, just because I'm big doesn't mean I'm gonna hurt everybody I see.
Doesn't mean I'm a tough guy, right?
That's like whatever.
Great.
So the soda bar, I played there once.
Oh, very cool.
It was cool. Nobody
What?
came.
Yeah.
And you made
Yeah.
did you guys get paid?
Did you end up paying them, or how did that work out?
No, they didn't pay us. We didn't pay them, but they did give me drink tickets. And no one else in my band wanted to drink that night, so I used them all.
So you got really drunk.
I was about to say, were they expired or something? That sounds like more.
Expired drink tickets.
You must have had a big band.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we play some places, and that's kind of what it comes down to is, you end up getting the drink tickets are supposed to somehow be your consolation prize, and
Yeah.
the places that I love are okay, but the drink ticket is not for like a premium.
Oh yeah, it's just
local
the well.
beer. So so you can either have a Pabst
Domestic
Blue
and
Ribbon or 1/4 of a good beer, and
Yeah.
so then you're.
I mean, if you want to pay the difference,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do.
It's like,
I'd rather have one really good beer than a bunch of shitty ones.
I'd rather you tell the patrons at your bar that they can buy us a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. That would be nice.
That's something you can do, especially
try
these
that
local
sometime.
bars. Is buy a beer and say, give the band what they want or something, or buy them a shot.
Buy us around.
That's kind of
Yeah.
dangerous too,
it
Why?
is. One time I was playing up at this place in Ramona. It's the bar formerly known as Molly's, and there was only like one guy there.
it was
he
you.
Well, no, it was the bartender and this one guy in my band. Now, this really sounds bad because it sounds like we never played to anybody. We used to be pretty popular, but
You're big in Europe.
that's our big.
Yeah.
That's the classic. Yeah.
But this guy kept buying me shots of Jack Daniels, and I stupidly drank them all. And by the-
That's not.
As one
Come on,
does.
haven't you seen
Come
Coyote
on.
Ugly?
yeah,
Oh wait,
by the
that was a slide one. He's
I
blind.
see if you're all the way up in Ramona, if somebody's buying you shots, I mean, that's a good thing going on there.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. The last set, that's one of those gigs where you got to play like the full 4 hours, like 9 to 1 or whatever. And the last set was pretty terrible, but I had a good time.
But who remembers it? Nobody.
Not me.
that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've never been.
Where'd you wake up?
Yeah.
He
You
doesn't
like to
kiss and
drink for
tell.
your band a lot, apparently.
I don't think we've ever been that inebriated on stage. I've probably had 3 or 4 pints maybe, but not so I can't remember.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, is that why you keep messing up?
Uh-huh.
Is that, ooh, like that
Okay, can we
dude.
get out of the stinger zone and actually like
Stingers.
pump up the band a little bit here?
We can't pump
Pump
them
us up. Pump us
All
up.
right.
Tell us a little bit about Velour.
Well,
How'd you guys get started? Like, how'd you get the name Velour?
Oh, that's a classic one. I'll take that question, fellas. Well, so Velour originally started when I played in a band in New Orleans, and this is quite a long time ago. And so the name, we kept trying to think, okay, what's a good name? And we threw around some names. One was like Smashing Kravitz, which was kind of a combination of
Smashing Pumpkins and Lenny
Lenny
Kravitz.
Kravitz. They were big at the time. And then we thought, no, how about Lenny Pumpkins? And
Is that
That kind
Yeah.
of stuck.
like a new?
Lenny Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Not quite. And so I was out with my girlfriend. We were at this, cafe. We were sitting on this blue velour sofa, and I kept bemoaning the fact, I'm like, none of these names are really sticking, and I can't think of a damn thing. And she goes, why don't you just name it this? And I'm like, what? She goes, this. And I go, blue velour sofa? That doesn't really have much of a ring to it. But I go, what about velour? That's kind of a, It has a certain smoothness about it, right?
Je ne sais quoi.
That's right. It reminds you, like you said, a
Track
70s tracksuit, you know, like velour tracksuits. And I was doing kind of a 70s retro vibe kind of rock at the time originally. And some of that, I guess, sometimes filters through what we're doing now. But that's how the name came about. And so I reused it when I started back up again. And it's funny because now if you look and do searches under Velour band, you'll get, there's a bunch of them out there. So that's kind of the struggle now. But, and there's even this guy, I guess a rapper who goes by Velour. So if you see that song called Booty Slammer, that's not ours. There seriously is a song called Booty Slammer.
You mean that's not going to be on your Right on Time for Being Late album?
That's the secret hidden track.
It could fit.
It was an obscured track. That was.
If you listen 63 seconds after the end of the last
Booty
song,
Slammer, Booty Slammer, Booty Slammer.
So how do you differentiate yourself in the market?
Well, there's no confusion because we're the only Velour in San Diego.
Yeah.
If we're a national touring act, then we'll get when there's money involved. Oh, woo!
This is Booty Slammer by Velour.
Oh, nice.
All right, then.
All right.
Oh.
Oh wow, it's cue that bitch up.
Okay, enough of that. Someone's going to sue us.
Yeah, you probably don't have the rights to that
is
one.
he that SoundCloud rapper that tattoos all over his face? Is that guy?
They all sound like
No,
that. Yeah.
this is the Velvet.
sorry, Velour.
This is on the Velvet Collection EP.
Ooh.
The Velvet Collection.
Damn, that's
The
what I was going to
Velour
call our next
collection.
album. Yeah. There's all sorts of
Oh,
funny
he's got
little
ASCAP BMI, so they're going to hit us real quick.
things. Dude, you're going to have to get a second mortgage. Yeah.
Your YouTube stream just went down.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Thank God it was only 7 seconds of it.
So if we're ever actually making money as a band and touring nationally and all that good stuff, then we'll get the lawyers involved. We'll copyright and all that stuff. But
How long have you guys been together?
this incarnation for 3 years. So I've always been writing music, and then I got the itch to start playing out live again. It could have been just dermatitis, I'm not sure, but there was an itch. And so
Do you use Head and Shoulders?
no. I find that just doesn't cut it. But
He's a self and blue guy.
yeah. So I'd known James a long time. Our kids actually went to preschool together. And we were doing this other kind of jam band thing that was very loose and really was more just kind of drunkenness and cacophonous. And
Excuse to get away from the wife.
pretty much.
Yeah, prior to fantasy football.
She's not listening, right?
I don't, probably
Is
not.
that the
No.
only YouTube
But
video
you love
we
her.
have?
Yes, with all my heart. And so I started first. I found this young man over here,
Thank you.
this handsome man.
The other Steve.
The drummer.
The other Steve, yeah.
Steph.
And then we thought, man,
They can't see you right now, so
True.
when you're pointing, they can't.
well, I'm just
Yeah, that guy over
just
there.
a reference for inside the room, so they don't
Okay.
confuse him with you. And
I'm
just
already
in case.
Hey, thanks.
confused. to begin
I
with.
know.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you pointing in his direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Says
Oh, I
the
forgot.
blind
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Blind
Yeah,
guy,
that's true. That was very rude of me. I'm sorry. Stage left, I guess.
That's what you get for trying to justify yourself instead of admitting your wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Steve, you're not very PC tonight.
Well, I know, and it's shameful. But anyway, so
Just tonight.
we were going to get some other guys named Steve and just call ourselves the Steves. Why not?
That'd have been cool.
Yeah. So then I thought, let's get another guitar player. So I asked James to.
James, when are you
Hop on
going to
board.
change your name?
Oh, I'm not doing that.
You're not going to legally change your name to Steve?
No.
Steve
I'm
and
I really
James.
think you should.
well,
How long have you guys been doing music?
Oh, I've been playing guitar since I was 12.
yeah, but that's about the same for me. Yeah, just probably in the last 10 years or so, really seriously exploring, music theory and things like that. I mean, I knew how to play chords since I was, 12, 13, and, playing with buddies of mine in their garages and things like that. But I never really understood, why certain chords sounded good together and things like that.
I still don't.
Yeah. Well, but it was.
I'm just winging it.
Within the last few years that I really, just took it upon myself to kind of learn things about music and music theory and how, certain scales work better with certain chords and, getting into like modal theory and things like that. And
Whoa.
So is what you
Too
really-
much here on the futon.
I
He's
don't-
getting
I don't
fancy
even-
over here.
I don't even know what
I
that
know.
is.
Is what you really want to do is you want to play a bunch of like C's up against F sharps because tritones are by far the most harmonic interval.
That's the devil's
What
interval.
he- what she
Isn't that the devil's interval?
Yes.
The devil's interval.
Yes.
Wow.
That's right.
You know, it's funny though.
Starring Kevin Spacey.
You're talking on music nerdy shit and all, but that's actually very important to know at least some of it. Otherwise, you won't progress.
Right. And it's just good for my general knowledge. I mean, I like to learn that kind of stuff. Just helps broaden my.
Helps your songwriting.
No
Helps you write
question.
songs faster.
Well,
And better.
I don't know anything about. I write most of the material. I don't know what
Well,
the
you
hell
have a
I'm doing.
when you
right?
have a when you have a
I
good
play by ear.
exactly.
so-
I was going to say,
but I
you
don't have
you
any
a,
formal.
It sounds
training.
good to you. You know, just it's
I
kind-
just learned how. I played guitar and then I started
Well,
building off that.
The comparison that I like to make is, you know, we're all speaking English right now, but none of us are sitting there thinking, okay, is this the preterite or the subjunctive, and do I use the pluperfect?
You don't know me very well.
You just
Yeah.
we just speak.
Well, I teach
Well,
writing,
that's
so
exactly
I do
what I'm
actually.
thinking.
But I'm saying is, we're speaking, we're having a conversation here, and we're using rules of grammar and diction and things like that, but we're not thinking about it. It's the same thing with music. You throw some chords together and some notes. They sound good to you,
And you know, oh, that
without
sounds bitchin'.
without even knowing it, you're writing a song.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why they offer English as a path for like getting a master's and a doctorate in, because there's nuances. We're one of the toughest languages
it
to
is.
learn.
It's incredibly
Yeah.
tough.
We're still learning it.
It's
Yeah.
really, 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 really.
A lot of
really,
people who speak it just
know.
just
But
because
you
you
don't-
speak it doesn't mean you know how to.
Yeah,
Right,
you don't have to know when you're playing guitar that you're making a perfect authentic cadence when you go from 5 to 1. You know.
Yeah,
to
whatever
still
that
make it.
means. That
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You talk about the Nashville method, where you play in the 1 chord and the 5 chord, or
Right. So like if you go from the 5 chord and then you end on the 1 chord,
Mhm.
if that's your last interval. That's
Is
a
that
perfect
like the
authentic
Roy
cadence.
Clark Big Note songbook?
Kinda.
Where they put the little stickers on the
stickers on
fretboard.
it. Yeah, those, yeah.
Yeah,
you go.
I learned to play purdy music that way. But, you know, went from there.
How about yourself,
Whoa.
Steph?
Steph. Oh my God, it's sticking
Well,
now.
let's see. I've been playing chords on the drums since the 5th
Yeah.
grade.
Do you
It's
do
really
you,
hard.
do you play your drums in the
Very
right key
hard.
for each song?
I've never tuned them to that just by ear, but I know some do.
You do tune
Yeah.
them though.
I do tune
Okay.
them occasionally. Yeah. Yeah.
You tune them so that they sound good when you do a run.
Yeah. Pretty
It's
much. I mean, side to
Fubbly-doo.
side, top to
Mhm.
bottom.
Mhm.
But I mean, they literally do it to notes. I've seen people do it to notes too.
I
but-
never knew what moon jelly was till I saw you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never-
It's tasty.
It's very good. Yeah.
Put it on some toast.
Those are the rubber
Some
squares,
good
right?
dampening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
yeah,
dampening.
those things are great.
So nice.
They work wonder.
Do you have any sort of like tricks with your drums to get your sounds?
Tricks with them.
Yeah, some
tuning
guys
the
use like
heads.
T-shirts and stuff underneath their heads.
That's what he's
Some guys
talking about,
use-
the moon
Yeah,
jelly.
The moon
Yeah.
jelly,
Jelly,
baby.
baby.
There's a lot of different types of things to get.
I do a
different sounds.
wallet. I think
Yeah.
every drummer does their
Key,
wallet.
yeah.
You sit down. That's the first thing you do. You pull your wallet out, slap it right on the snare.
Yeah.
Every drummer does that.
It's like perfect dampening.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's all kinds of things.
Plus, you can
Tape,
keep your eye on
whatever.
your wallet when you're playing.
Yeah, that's the main
it.
reason.
At
'cause,
some
you
of
know,
these places, you know.
I mean, we're backed up in the corner. It's hard
Yeah.
to get out of from that thing.
Speaking of the soda bar,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Oh man,
Kidding, huh?
What do you think about playing a song?
Yeah, let's.
we
check
haven't
out a
even
song.
played a song.
Yeah.
we played Booty Slammer.
Oh well, that.
So
by
I thought you said-
Velour.
Yeah.
that's gonna be edited out though for
Oh
legal
well.
reasons, right?
I may add a little bit because it was only 7 seconds, and we're just talking about it. So,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
A little Booty Slammer's good.
Yeah. We're using it for reference.
So which
what
song?
song?
Which song are you gonna play?
I don't know.
What do you guys want to hear?
We've been playing these songs a lot. It's really
Yeah. Well, how about why don't we start with?
We have 1, 3, and 5.
Let's
Those are the ones we have?
Let's do
1,
one.
3, and
Let's
5.
do one.
let's start with
Let's,
one.
So this is I Don't Know Why off of your EP Right on Time for Being Late from Velour.
Definitely sounds way cooler than Booty Slammer.
Sun doesn't shine without you by my side. So now I hide deep down in the mire of my mind. Don't know why. Don't know why I love you, but I do.
Right on. So that was the intro song for your album.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that?
Well,
I was almost going to go, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why either.
That song
I
just
was,
opens it up to puns.
That's
it
right.
really does.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my man cave. I had a few beers and noodling around the guitar and that little riff. Na 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 na. And the more I played around with that, I was trying to come up with some kind of lyrical idea. And so that phrase started fitting well within the that chord progression. So I kind of build it from there. It was one of the songs that on the demo version just it sounds so much different. This is like I guess the surprising thing for me is that how kind of hard rock this song comes across compared to some of other stuff.
It hit
once
hard,
yeah. Once we actually went into the studio, and so once we got those nice gritty guitars and captured, his drumming, it just all really came together. So it's definitely a much kind of hard hitting rock song that it started out as, I think.
People who know us who have never heard us will listen to that song, and the reaction is always, this is a lot harder than I thought you guys were going to be.
It's like, we don't mess around.
Yeah. What's up?
The next one's called Booty Slammer.
Yeah.
But it's still very melodic, which is really nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of power pop and that genre. I like melody a lot, and so it kind of came out of that. I think because my vocal range it's not in the growl vocal range. It's higher.
When I first heard that opening riff, it reminded me of kind of the early '70s Rolling Stones, kind of the Sticky Fingers, sort of that era, with that kind of that gritty, raunchy slide guitar that they would do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, key to really the sound in the recording process, not only for that song, but for pretty much all of them, at least for my guitar sound, is this really old Fender Twin amp that I bought in New Orleans many years ago. It's an early 70s amp, and it's been messed with, and the damn thing like hums like crazy. You'll probably get shocks from it, but it's I brought that, and I brought some newer amps, and when I played it for the engineer, he's like, that's the one.
Nice.
And it records really well. I don't take it to gigs because it's so damn heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I used to take it around, and it would roll around the back, and I was breaking tubes just trying to transport the damn thing. So I call it the Paisley Beast because somebody had taken it's a regular Fender Twin, but they had put this Paisley fabric around the Tolex, and it's got this.
Was it velour?
It was not. But I was thinking, man, if I could. Yeah. But
Speaking of velour, on the cover of your EP, you have a chair. Is that chair velour?
I don't know. That's what I was kind of shooting for, though. Yeah.
Maybe it's suede.
It is the texture added to the CD? Is that velour?
That was not
It could
planned.
be.
That was a happy surprise that
It's really
from the
kind of neat.
printing process. Yeah, it's kind of textured.
Yeah, it's very textured, and it's really neat because is this your first album as a?
It's our first EP.
Yeah, so it's just like almost a good collector's item for you, just for you as a band member, because it has that velour kind of texture.
It does. Yeah, it was a happy little surprise.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Well, it's funny because we didn't tell you the truth. We initially didn't plan on making any CDs, but when we were playing at shows, everybody's like, "Well, where's your CDs?" And we're like, "Oh, we thought we were being hip, But everybody wanted
We
the
got
CD. They
download
wanted
codes.
something, Yeah, we got download codes, and what the hell's that? So
yeah, I know.
people want
Everyone wanted
even if they
something
don't have. It's
tangible.
funny, even if they don't have a CD player, they want something tangible. So I'm like, okay. So we printed some up through this place in Portland. Did a really good job. So yeah, we're happy with that. I think it's good to have something to reinforce.
Yeah,
the
in
music.
your scene, like the live music scene, you gotta have like you gotta have CDs at
Yeah,
shows.
you gotta-
People
Yes.
want them.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of an anachronistic thing. It's kind of surprising this day and age that that people still want that, but at the
This
same
day and
time,
age.
Plastic's coming back, man.
I know, man.
Making
I
a
know.
comeback.
I heard vinyl is too.
Yeah.
Oh, vinyl's back.
Vinyl's been back
Yeah.
in a big way.
That's the next album.
Vinyl came back thanks to the punk scene. Like
Yeah.
the 7-inch
Yep.
singles.
Yep.
Like those things were, I don't know what the hell happened, but about 4 years ago, there was just this massive flux for everybody wanted to put out a 7-inch single. It's like, what?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she said. That's right. Oh.
Is it 7 or is it 10? I don't know. What's the average?
12.
We got a 12-inch single.
Dirty Disciple does it again.
I was actually going to comment on your album artwork. It's pretty cool. I'm going to ask you where you got that done or how you came
Well,
up with that.
Shutterstock.
That's important.
Oh, is that what that overlay is?
Well, you're not too far off. Well, I searched around, and there are places where you can buy the rights to photos and stuff. But it was funny. This is this German photographer guy, and I kind of went back and forth, and the translation wasn't coming across very well. I couldn't tell whether he was asking me for money or out on a date. It was so I'm like, yeah, I will be in Baden-Baden.
It can be tough, yeah.
But this must have been taken somewhere in Germany, I suppose. But
So it's German velour.
ja, auf Deutsch.
Velvet.
Velour.
Your pain is delicious.
I'm looking at the bunker to see if there's
The
anything.
bunker. Yeah, there's Eva Braun skeleton in the back. It's very good. Damn.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry
it's
to go
okay.
there. Too soon.
No, that's okay.
Oh.
Too soon.
That was
I know.
fantastic.
You're about 70 years too late.
Exactly.
Right
Those
on
Hitler
time for
jokes.
being late.
There you
That's
go.
true.
Steve, do you do most of the songwriting in that?
Yeah, I write all the lyrics and all the songs on this album. James and I are starting to write more together. He'll come up with a riff, and I'll write some chords and lyrics around it. But the songs on this EP, yeah, it's primarily me. But the thing about the process is that I'll, I do the lyrics. Since I'm doing the singing, I got to be able to contend with what's written, and most of the music. But the nice thing is that these guys add a lot after that, because having a rhythm section obviously is important for a band like this, even though we're Sans bass player right now. But he's able to come up with some great stuff for stuff that I would just never in a million years, since I'm not a drummer, come up with. So that really enhances these songs. And James comes in, his style is a lot different from mine. He's able, since I'm playing rhythm and lead and singing, that's a lot, and so he's able to come in and do more nuanced kind of guitar work to bring nice little surprises in there to the songs. So we're musically on the same page. We work well together. So
Yeah, I was going to say, typically the way it works is Steve will do a demo and release it on SoundCloud, and I'll listen to it. I'll figure out the basic chords and pattern of the song, and then I'll say, okay, I don't like to play the exact same thing Steve is playing. So I'll say, how can I play this a little bit differently so it still sounds melodically, it fits.
Mm-hmm.
And then
song enhancement, we call
enhancement,
it. Natural song enhancement.
I can play
Little blue
the higher
pill.
version of the
Right.
chord or whatever. I can throw in a little riff here and there, and
Let's check out another song.
Shall we?
All right, so this is song number 3 called Late Bloomer off the Right on Time for Being Late EP by Velour.
When I was young, the world was unkind, but I never let it get into my mind. I was still in fine. Didn't ride a bike,
great. I love that song. I love the lyrics.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, if
It's
you're
only because you're old.
now if you were paying attention at home, you realize that's the song that the title of our EP came from. That's
Always
the
on
lyric.
time.
Right on time
On
for being late.
You know, it's a good thing you pointed that out. I literally didn't hear it. All I saw was
That's why I
James
was-
flaring his.
Well,
he's like,
I'm-
"Hey, look at this! Look, it's on the
I'm
album."
pointing at this. You look at me like, huh?
I'm like, "What are you pointing at? Is that? I don't have a light there that says applause. I don't know."
That's funny.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it took me a second, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hear it. I see it."
There we go.
I was about to ask you, actually, is there something in particular that our whole album is written about, or is it just random songs that you put together?
Well, I would say it's probably more of a sampler platter.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of like when you go in the restaurant and you're like, well, I have the mezza platter, and if you don't like the baba ganoush, maybe there's some falafel that you think is...
Yeah, we've got about
So, it's stylistically
I prefer
different.
shawarma.
Well, I do too. I love the chicken shawarma. So, so you'll probably find something you like. So,
we've got about 2 hours or even more now of playable material that we could do. So we played at Winston's in Ocean Beach, and they'll give us a 2-hour set. We've got plenty of material.
yeah, we used to do those long shows.
So we had to kind of pare it down to 5 songs that we felt were the most representative of us.
We voted on them, and then we played the hell out of them for 6 weeks prior to going to the studio because we didn't, we wanted to
We want to embarrass
economically
ourselves.
wise. No,
Yeah,
we wanted to make sure our dollar went far, and so we were able to get 6 songs completed, which for the amount of money we spent was really for Signature Sound was not a rinky-dink studio. It's a pretty well regarded one. So we just made sure we knew everything really well. Went in and we didn't record to a click. We just did everything live.
oh wow.
Yeah, because
We have a drummer, so he was our click.
yeah, and he said he'd prefer not to, and I thought that I respect that. I think it's kind of mechanical. I've always felt it kind of hard to.
I've touched on
feel,
this before in a few past episodes because as a drummer myself, like I know people who do both and swear by one and swear by the other.
Exactly.
And it really comes to the internal metronome of the drummer, because a lot of drummers have kind of a swing beat natural to them, but if you listen to a metronome, it really throws off your downbeat because you're more of a swing throw. You swing to that next downbeat, and so that mechanical that you're talking about really tears that out. And because I've tried that, I have the natural jazz swing feel, and I've tried a metronome even, and it just screws me up even more.
Totally.
I'm chasing that beat, or
It's
I'm slowing
artificial,
down
yeah.
for it. It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So we thought, we recorded in the big studio, and so we had bass, drums, his guitar were all being captured. My vocals and guitar were scratch tracks because, just trying to do both those things at once, not going to get usable takes. And then the rest was overdubs of vocals and some other guitars. And so we managed to, bang out quite a bit because we were well rehearsed. So that's kind of how the EP came together. So we kind of, everybody's kind of in the band had their favorite songs and ones that we liked for different reasons. And so I think sonically, it's, like I said, it's a sampler platter. Lets people know stylistically we don't play just one thing. I didn't want it to sound
It's the
monotonous.
charcuterie plate of.
It's the mezza platter. I already made that gustatory metaphor.
Yeah, as an EP
Wow.
though, that's a good way to go. It's one or the other. It's either a short form of an album that tells a story
Yeah.
or is about something, or it's a sample of what you guys do. It's something to show for promotion or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
but
we
it works.
do-
good.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the point of an EP, really. An initial EP is, like you said, it's a demo practically.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what
A
we're looking at.
well-produced demo, but a demo nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to do a full-length album, then I think things, that would come together differently. I think I'd try to make thematically some connections stronger and, try to see it more as a whole. But for this, I thought doesn't really have to, as far
Yeah,
as the songs.
And that's the whole idea of an EP is it's an extended play single, so
Yeah.
you don't have to have that.
True.
You don't have to have that album theme to it.
Kids nowadays don't know that. They're just like, oh, I want to put out an EP because it's less songs.
Well, I'm going to disagree.
No, that's kind of the trend.
I'm going to have to disagree in the current market because a lot of figures show that EPs are the best-selling material in the market because people don't want to invest in albums anymore. So
Absolutely.
they're all doing like short-form albums and stuff because they sell better.
Yep.
Well, I wonder if people are investing in anything because with Spotify and those, the streaming service. I mean, I haven't bought an actual CD in, oh God, I don't know, 10 years or so. Everything's online now.
Well, who paid for these?
Well, we bought them, but we didn't. So we got our own complimentary copies out of that. That's right.
I got complimentary copies off of the CDs I bought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, here's some extras.
Yeah.
I still paid for them. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you guys released?
What's that?
Where are you guys released online?
Oh, I went through DistroKid, which distributes it. Yeah, that's a good deal.
So we're
Distro's the best.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Pretty
we're on
much.
iTunes, Spotify,
Amazon.
Bandcamp.
I think you can even buy our stuff at Walmart.
Yeah, you can find tracks on SoundCloud but if you look hard enough. But
right next to the diapers.
Yeah.
That's right.
But this EP is on Spotify and iTunes. So
I'm absolutely going to follow you guys. No question about it.
thank you.
Do you guys get a lot of downloads, or is it mostly just all
Not
streams?
really.
No, we're
Yeah,
not. We just
it's,
that's the thing we're trying to.
It was fun to kind of track it on Spotify has that way you can track to see where it's downloading and
Fun yet depressing.
At first it was kind of
Crushing.
and then pretty soon it's
When you get your first 10 downloads, it's like, ooh, and then after 10, it's like only 10.
yeah.
And that was the friends and family discount.
exactly.
It's like, what
And
the
then 2
hell?
weeks later, you're like, hey, we got our 11th.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing you go,
Sales are starting to pick up again.
2 weeks. That took a month.
Oh. Shit, I don't even think my mom bought the album. So
Yeah, I gave
Yeah,
one.
it's
I
so
gave one to
good.
my dad. I don't know if he even took it out of the wrapper.
That's
I don't know.
okay. I have friends who still don't even know what a podcast is, so they definitely don't listen.
Can we listen to another song?
Yeah, we sure.
All
can.
sure can. That's a nice segue.
So the next one, I just wanted to say a little bit. This next song is "Simple Man," right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
a simple man.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. This is my favorite track on the album, and
I didn't know that.
it
Really?
is, yeah.
Damn.
And during the musical break,
Oh, no.
I think we are
Now you do.
the four of us are the most. We're the most on musically and harmonically and just I think we sound best together on that track.
All right, so check it out. I'm a Simple Man by Velour.
I'm a simple man. I'm always holding a beer in my hand. I got a simple plan. I'm gonna do all that I can to lead a simple life. I'm an average man with an average lifespan. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. But sometimes I feel the weight of this world coming down on me. Makes me wanna crawl back into my bed. Pull the shades down and dream. I'm a simple man. I'm always holding a beer in my hand. I got a simple plan. I'm gonna do the best that I can to lead a simple life. I'm an average man with an average lifespan. I'm a simple man. Oh, I'm a simple man. But sometimes I feel the weight of this world coming down on me.
like that line.
I'm always holding a beer in my hand. I got a simple plan. I'm gonna drink all that I can. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. Oh, I'm a simple man. Whoa.
So you reckon that's your favorite song off the whole album?
Of all the ones you have to
You
choose
said that
from.
like you're doubting. Like, that
geez,
one.
I'm not.
Dude, that
No
You like
pressure.
that
sucks,
one?
man.
I'll say of those tracks, that's the one.
I mean,
listen
it's
to
no
the
booty
most.
slammer.
It's no booty slammer. No.
And I mean, Booty Slammer is good.
Yeah.
I know.
That was some good shit, man. All 7 seconds of it.
Now it's important because you were saying that you don't play to a click in that when you're drumming, and that's talent right there because you have to be able to keep the beat, and you can't be a shit drummer or a shit timekeeper because it comes across in your music like
Yeah.
it does not sound right.
Yeah.
So you know,
This guy is he's the best drummer I've ever played with, which I think really helps the band.
Yeah, you're real
He's-
tight,
he's,
man.
He's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you played with 2 drummers?
He's the backup. I got this other guy.
Ouch.
This other guy, crazy ass gonzo.
Sorry, Steph.
No
It's
worries.
kind of like Animal
over
from
it.
the Muppets. You know, we have this other guy, and then he's the guy who keeps the time. We have this really wild guy that comes out, and he drums behind him.
Yeah.
The other guy sets up a kit in front of him.
Yeah, that's right.
It
It's
looks
freaking
really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Ringo Starr.
from a production from a production standpoint though, like
Me
if someone
play
comes into
drums.
the studio that wants to do that, it's good, and you should take that on board and
Absolutely.
run with it. I mean, there's ways to put groove into tracks and play to clicks that way, but it's not got the same the same feeling
Authenticism.
behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
authenticism.
doesn't breathe. It doesn't feel alive.
You can tell
as
too
much.
when you listen to a drummer that isn't used to playing to a click track, or especially one who's used to playing to a click track who doesn't play to one. You can tell it's insane the difference that it makes.
So when you're
Yeah.
overdubbing in that, are you listening to his beat, or do you have the producer put on a click so you can sing in time or play guitar?
When it came time for vocals, we had, which was great for me. We had that solid bass to work from.
Yep.
So, like I said before, we had my scratch guitar, his guitar, the bass, the drums. So it sounded, very complete, which was cool. Because I'd rather lay down vocals to something. It's hard to get the emotion or feel like you're, I don't know, singing the song the right way if you don't have all the instruments playing. If you just, I don't think I could ever do it to a click. It's too artificial. I'll see sometimes those documentaries of people recording famous albums. There's nothing but a click, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do they do this?
I don't like
Ugh.
the effects. Like when I try to do that, because you put the effects on, and just hearing that echo makes me feel like I'm singing to an empty hall.
Or in a very large bathroom somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I was tracking vocals, I always wanted really dry phones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. You can do all that stuff afterwards and do what you like.
You
but-
can slap a compressor on there. That's fine, but don't put friggin' reverb in my headphones.
I'll remember that next
More
time.
verb.
No vibe.
Do you guys
More
have any
voice.
particular places you like to record besides the studio? Have you ever tried anything like arty or different?
No, we've only done the one, so
We tried doing some. Initially tried doing some demos or some recordings, on our own. And like I said, the really difficult. I mean, I've been recording at home for a long time, but the real difficult thing is getting a good drum sound.
Oh yeah.
And that's mainly. I mean, that was the big deciding factor. We went to the studio is that, we experimented and stuff. I just felt like we weren't getting, as good as we could get. So we went in and they had all these, really super high-end room mics were $3,000 a piece at least. And, his whole kit was
Right.
mic'd up in the big room at Signature.
Big
and
room.
yeah, so it was, quite a bit different. I don't know. I'm eager to start doing that again and seeing what we can do. I've got a few songs that are new, that are kind of more lo-fi-ish, that I think we could probably pull off on our own. There's a lot you can do. I've made some microphone purchases too since then, so some higher end stuff.
Yeah, that helps too.
So
Yeah.
$600 mic, so a tube mic.
Oh, which one did you get?
I got this one that is what is the name? I'm trying to remember.
You should have done your
It's
homework, Steve.
expensive, but I can't remember what it is. It's the Aventone.
Oh yeah, those are fantastic. I have a
Yeah.
really good friend who has one of those.
Yeah, well, they are able to produce a really high end product by, I guess, assembling it in China.
Yeah.
But the Cinemag transformers in there, all the real high end components, but it's assembled. But I got mine used off of eBay, but it's a really cool old school looking mic, and so I've been playing around with that.
Yeah.
Getting a nice rich.
Warm Audio makes a couple of really cool ones too. The WA87 and the WA47
Yeah.
are really fantastic as well.
So I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm getting into be kind of a
Say what?
Well, when you start doing, when you
What
start
was the
doing
question?
the home production, I mean, there's just so much stuff, looking at preamps and all this stuff. I'm like, damn. But my big limitation is that, I have my own little man cave / studio, but I got to put some serious money into soundproofing because I live in Golden Hill, South Park area, and we have planes that go over. So,
Oh shit.
That's
yeah,
no
it really
fun.
sucks. I was working on some new demos, and I'm like, I was right in the middle of doing a take, and I'm like, shit, it's a jet engine.
Yeah. It's
Come
a 3
on.
minute and 35-second song. You're 3 minutes 20 seconds in, and
So that's never gonna. I'm never gonna be able to turn that into a usable studio. So that's the frustration with that. Is that, here I have this $1,000 mic, and it's a fucking plane going overhead. You hear the plane really well,
picking it up
though.
perfectly.
Yeah. That's a DC-10, I think.
Well balanced.
It's very well balanced.
What are you guys trying to achieve with your project?
Instant fame and
Yeah.
stardom.
Yeah, right.
Really.
Oh, that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
lots of
And we're done
groupies.
here. Oh, shit.
And we're done. That's right. I think just
Hookers
it was
and
the
blow.
What else is there?
Totally.
hookers and blow.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
I'd also like recognition as an artist.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I
Serious
want.
artist.
I think it was the, it was just a natural progression because we had been playing together, and things were doing well. We were playing out a lot, and it was a natural progression. It's like, this is the next step is to, it's not like we don't have a shortage of original material. I mean, some bands have that problem where they don't really, maybe they don't have enough for an entire album, and that's why they do an EP. But for us, like I said, it was more the sampler platter. See where this goes and kind of that sort of thing. So
I'm happiest playing live, and I would love more shows, more gigs, more.
Where can people book you at?
Where can they?
Where can they find you to book
That's,
you?
that
yeah, from the Bandcamp, Velour1 bandcamp.com.
Do you have an email?
Get it, velourtunes@gmail.com. They can get in touch with us there.
And when's your next gig?
Well, we are slated to play at Winston's on Groundhog's Day.
Ooh.
February
right.
February 2nd.
Can you say that again?
Groundhog's Day. That's right. I got the joke. Again and again.
And again.
So, and we'll have to make the decision if we don't have a bass player by then. Maybe it'll just, a cappella. Will just be like Lady Smith, Black Moon Baza.
Are you going to play the same song over and over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do a cover of "I Got You, Babe."
Yeah.
Nice.
That one gets them all the time.
That was a good pull.
Thank you guys for joining us on the show. Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
Be sure to check them out.
But
Velour.
I do want to point out that there was no futon. That was a major disappointment. So
You're probably
You have to
you're,
come see us
I
live.
want
you're
my
probably
money
getting a lot
back.
of that. You're probably
Oh yeah, all the
the
time.
dusty folding chair is more.
Why can't people just get the artistic references there?
The people on the podcast can't see it, and you're ruining it for them.
Only
I'm
the
sorry.
YouTubers can see it.
You're right. We're really sitting on an enormously soiled,
You're
nasty old
ruining
70s
it for the
futon.
co-host here. I mean, come on, he can't see shit.
All right.
You know,
All right. We can
John,
describe shit to you.
Big John told me he brought a futon in.
Yeah, I was trying to get it past him,
The
but
fuck, dude?
Big John, you're pulling the rug out from under you there.
All right.
the
Thank
futon,
you
I
for
should
joining
say.
us on the Dusty Futon. My name is Dirty Disciple.
There's Corey.
Your turn.
Oh yeah, I'm Corey Wilkins. Hey, what's up?
He didn't see you. And I'm Big John.
All right.
And I'm Booty Slammer.
Yeah.
Oh, ow! Thanks for
Support
having us.
independent music. See you later.
Big thank you to the guys of Velour for heading all the way out to Lakeside to laugh with us. Thank you to Dirty Disciple of Noise Cartel Records for hosting this episode. Major thank yous to Corey Wilkins of Ears Only Audio in Lakeside for co-hosting and for letting us record in his studio. I'm Big John, your engineer, editor, and producer of this production of the Dusty Futon LLC. Thank you for tuning in, and please don't forget to subscribe so you get all the newest episodes. You can find out how on www.dustyfuton.com, and don't forget to share with your friends. If you love what we're doing and want to support our cause like Rick and our other supporters, please consider going to patreon.com/thedustyfuton and pledging to support us for as little as $1 a month. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Dusty Futon.
There's two Steves.
Two Steves.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
guy,
One's Steph.
That's got to be confusing.
Steph.
well,
That's Steph.
Yeah, I
Okay.
prefer Steph. Yeah, I do.
we never called.
That's about to change.
I was gonna say Astro is his nickname. That so
have to,
whenever we're talking about Steve and the other Steve, we'll say
We
Astro.
don't get confused.
Yeah,
So you go by Astro.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Just another bandmate in the past was calling me that. I guess the Astro Boy. Back when I had a younger mug,
yeah.
looked more like a kid, like a boy.
Oh, so you're Astro Boy.
Astro Boy. Yeah. And my last name's Atterbury, so I don't know. He just kind of started Astroberry, Astro.
There you go.
Lots of other things too.
Thought you liked spaceships or something.
Astrophysicist,
Yeah, yeah.
astronomics.
Like Brian May.
And I like that better than Dingleberry, or Atterbury to your cereal.
Add a berry to your cereal. Kind of like that one. I remember doing that as a kid.
I got all that growing
Like,
up.
Mom, can I
I
please
still
have
get it.
another berry to my cereal? I don't know where that came from. Sorry.
Sounded British.
That's what happens. It happens when I don't have headphones on. I
Yeah.
start doing weird shit.
You sounded British,
Oh, thank you.
which doesn't make sense because you have good teeth.
That's only for show.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Take out
Those are
the
my
dentures.
velours.
Love it.
You like it? Like it? See what I did there? I don't.
No.
Did you?
I don't see.
Yeah, is your mind blown? Because I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, I did totally.
No, not you.
Okay.
Not Stefan.
what was that again? I'm sorry, I was thinking of
I
something.
was, my teeth are so white because I wear velours.
Velour.
Yeah, you get it. Okay.
Kind
Don't.
of.
I love
There's
retelling my
veneers.
jokes.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
veneers. Yeah.
It is, but it was a play on words.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It was horrible, apparently. Got them, but whatever.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're just like zoned out.
Whatever,
James is like, yeah,
that's
I'm
all right.
too. That's not good enough for me, man.